All right, so thank you for joining me, Filipino Martial Arts. It is the 10th of June already. Let's acknowledge all the martial arts that influence us like usual. Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian, French and Dog Brothers, Japanese. Grab 2 sticks. Double stick, please. Okay. And I think I did this last week as well, and I definitely just did the related concept in yeah, we're on, Logan, I'm sorry. 5 minutes late, man, I apologize. Okay, it's like I can't shut up or something, you know, it's a problem. All right, so what I was doing, and I've been trying to do it for a few weeks now, and I'll probably maybe go over it one more time next Monday and Wednesday, and then I'll drop it. So many of you have been doing this with me for so long online. I just thought it would be cool if you actually, if you didn't already, know the full salutations, because you know when we do, hang on to your sticks. This is abbreviated Chinese. We looked at what that means, and we'll look again on Monday. This one is abbreviated Filipino. That's the one that I wanted to go over with you if you hadn't seen it. So, your right hand stick is going to knock your left hand stick into this neutral position. Okay, so I'm just going up and knocking it back. All right, and if you've never done that before, practice. And if you drop your stick, whatever. I don't know of a lot of skills that if you've never done it before, if you practice and make a mistake, that it's like the worst thing. So it's okay. Okay, so you have that here. You're as long as you're healthy enough to do so, take a right knee and bring this right hand stick up to your third eye. Okay, so this is my left leg bent. I'm on my right knee. Then open. Left hand stick pointed up towards the heavens. Right hand stick down towards the earth. Return back to this. And then as you stand up, the right hand puño approaches the left hand, but it does not make contact, because we're not going to challenge each other. We're not going to shed any blood. It's a training session. When this touches down, and I know you can't see my face right now, and I glare right at you, Conrad, that means you and I are we're gonna duke it out, man. Okay, but just a training session where there's no blood that's going to be spilled, because there's no beef and no bad blood. We make sure that that puño doesn't touch the left hand. Okay, so one more time. If you have your sticks, you're just kind of relax. You knock this back. We'll say Honda, Saladun. You're here, here, here. And then as you stand up, the right hand puño approaches the left hand but does not make contact. Okay. Put your sticks down just right next to you, just for a split second. Okay. So at the Inosanto Academy class, Filipino martial arts class, always starts, at least the ones that Guro Inosanto teaches, always starts with double stick, so that you do that salutation in that way. At the end of class, well, I guess now you can see my face because you know what I'm doing on the low line. At the end of class, we don't know what weapons configuration we're going to end up with. So you can just go here, take a knee, here, back, and then as you stand up, again, we're not gunning for each other. There's no bad blood. There's no challenges. I didn't hear that so-and-so said that guide dog is the worst dog brother out of everybody who's a full dog. You know, there's no beef. We don't make contact. Okay, that would be bad. That is usually accompanied by like glaring directly into the eyes of the person, like, get your stick, okay, or your sticks or whatever, because we're gonna, there's a problem, we're gonna solve it. Okay, so what I'd like to do is a less screen share-y version of what I was trying to do with single stick last week, and I'll just kind of verbally guide you through this. And pardon me, I know I'm left the front. I'm just looking for something here just to check myself. So, okay. So, yellow belt, intermediary belt, leading to or developing the foundation for phase 1 proficiency and certification. 2 coordination drills, sticks here or here. Again, this is teaching you not, please don't do this, I'm demoing it wrong on purpose. This is teaching you not to drop one stick as you do the pattern with the other hand, okay? So first 2 patterns are just EKIS, 1, 2, 3, 4. So make the X with the right, make the X with the left. It's a 4-beat combination. It's one of the very few 4-beat combinations or coordination drills in my curriculum. Okay. All right. And then this would also be tips up or tips on the shoulder. Okay. I think some people think this is like, oh, it's going to make me lazy. No, this is way better than this is lazy. This is like textbook lazy. Okay. This is way better than this. So, all right. Empty 6, high inward, low backhand, high backhand, high inward, low backhand, high backhand. It's a 6-beat combination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inward, backhand, backhand, high inward, low backhand, high backhand. Very simple. Everybody looks great. Fantastic. Okay, so common pitfalls, and you've probably all heard me teach this and explain this. Imagine your arm, or your elbow, I should say, as the connection point. So this motion is supposed to be your whole arm, not your wrist. That was wrong there, okay? That the wrist or abanico type motions will come later, okay? And those have their place. But for now, like big sweeping power combination, okay? And to get technical, if you only did one side of this, we would call that empty 3, all right? If you do the whole thing, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we call that empty 6, which is what we normally refer, we usually will, as far as like coordination drill nomenclature, we'll usually refer to things with the suffix 6, because we're going to do it on both sides, unless there's some kind of a purposeful training exercise where we're only doing it once. Okay, so, and then double stick versus single stick abecedario, dominant side only, level 1. I'll maybe have time to explain what that means. We'll be doing level 1 for most of this class. So this is just gunting closed, meet it, gunting open, meet it. Then the 3 would be coming in, so you go midline, close it, meet it. 4, you would open it, meet it. And then the 5 would come in, and you just go right down the pipe and meet it, okay? And not in any kind of an effort, seriously, to look how clever I am. It's one of my least favorite things to watch people, either in live classes or in seminars, very, very, very confused when they train with Guru Dan Inosanto. This tends to be an area, I'm not being mean, nor am I being critical. He doesn't give you a lot of detail, okay? Guru Joel Clark is his demo partner, and Guru Dan will feed it, and he might feed like all 12 angles of maybe Regino Illustrissimo, and you'll get very little explanation. And this is my theory, and then we'll move on. That's not any kind of a lack of care or a lack of being a bad instructor. My theory is that his basics and his ability to break things down are just kind of gone. I know this is going to sound very new agey and very hero worshipy, and I don't really intend it to be. He's not so much doing martial arts anymore as he just kind of is martial arts. And so sometimes you don't get a lot of you don't get a lot of things broken down. Like, here's the first motion and here's the second. It's just kind of, here's 12 things. And I think because he kind of teaches everything, not to be morbid, like it's his last class too, like take the information that's just pouring out of him. Sometimes he doesn't break it down. So for all of you and for everybody watching, dominant side, when it's the right, we close and move to our left. That's going to be the outside. We backhand, it's always an angle 2 or a high backhand, and return. Backhand angles, we reverse gunting open as we step to our right, and it's always an angle 1. Okay? And the only thing that changes is the elevation on which I perform those motions based on what's being fed to me. Okay? And this is my expression, and if you want to use it, cool, but just please give me credit. Just like if you're writing your doctoral dissertation and you want to cite mine, please just give me credit. There's only 2 variables. And if you think about it like that, this is such an easy drill. What are the 2 variables? Variable 1, you gunting closed forehand angles, meet it with a backhand and stay closed. That's the first variable. What's the second variable? You gunting open backhand angles, meet it with an angle 1 and stay open. That's it. You might change elevation, but that's all you're doing. So, for example, you all keep 2 sticks. This is supposed to be double stick, pardon me. Double stick versus single stick abecedario. Your ABCs, you're learning your basics, okay? So you all have 2 sticks. I'm gonna feed you 12 angles. Regino illustrissimo. It's not gonna make any difference because all you're gonna keep doing are those 2 variables that we just went over. Everybody ready? Sticks open. Okay, close the 1, meet it and stay closed. Open the 2, meet it and stay open. Close the 3, meet it and stay closed. Open the 4, meet it and stay open. Close the 5, meet it and stay closed. Open the 6, meet it and stay open. Close the 7, meet it and stay closed. Open the 8, meet it and stay open. Close the 9, meet it and stay closed. Open the 10, meet it and stay open. And now these last 2 angles are tricky because they're neglected angles in the Filipino martial arts. Close the 11, meet it and stay closed. Open the 12, meet it and stay open. Okay? I will, especially over the last few years, if somebody really gets this, like it's their first class and they're moving along, I will tend to feed that numbering system, and then people just go, oh, how did I do that? The way that you did that is there's only 2 variables, and it doesn't matter what you get from me. Forehand angles need closing, and then you meet it and stay closed. Backhand angles need opening, and then you meet it and stay open. Okay, so that was excellent. Let's go on. I am mainly sticking with my Inosanto La Costa double stick material. If we get into Pekiti Tirsia, which we do later in the curriculum, I will cover that as well. And that reminds me to make a point in a few minutes time here. Okay, so now let's go on. Redondo 6, and umbrella 6 are our next two coordination drills. So inward, backhand, inward, tuck, inward, backhand, inward, tuck, inward, backhand, inward, tuck, inward, backhand, inward, tuck. The visual that I've been using for over 10 years now to differentiate this from the next one, this is kind of like helicopter blades. I know that's not a perfect visual because helicopter blades would be fixed, spinning on a lateral plane, but most people know that that visual works for them, right? That's kind of, and then when you do it with a partner, you just kind of turn it into slightly diagonal. Like if we mirror train it, it's really hard to pick up this lateral line. So you do it more like a diagonal when you're mirroring it. If you're doing it in the air or you're doing it on a tire or a bob dummy or a heavy bag, these can be all lateral and they're harder. This is a way easier line to pick up than this. That was true lateral in that split second. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so right inward, left backhand, right inward, tuck the right, left inward, right backhand, left inward, tuck the left. So this is Redondo 6. If I do 3, it's only Redondo 3 if I only do one side. Let me break this down a little bit. So everybody tuck your left, this is my left, tuck your left under your right arm. This is my right. The untucked stick is always going to go first on either side, okay? So if you go slow, we'll do it slow motion together. Inward with your right hand. As that continues going over your head, go backhand with your left and then let that finish and tuck. Now you're going to go inward with the left, over your head, backhand with the right, and then this finishes its arc. So you have an inward, backhand, inward, and an inward, backhand, inward. And the thing that seems to be hardest for, I mean, you all look great. The thing that seems to be hardest for most people is they want to do another coordination drill, which is that, which would be an 8-beat drill. So you're adding an additional rotation. That's actually another coordination drill that I'm familiar with that isn't in my current curriculum, right? But this was a 6-beat. So this is inward right, backhand left, inward right, tuck the right. Inward left, backhand right, inward left, tuck the left. Okay? So if you're struggling at all, just think about that first shot doesn't lose its momentum, right? That one, this here, it doesn't lose its momentum. Same on the other side, right? It just continues over my head, and before it makes its rotation, I let that other hand backhand go. Okay, so that is Redondo 6. And again, what I was saying, to get real technical, I'd like to just give the information and you do with it what you will. If I only do one side, it's Redondo 3. So again, I mean, sometimes these are a lot like chords on a piano. You got to practice them again, again, again. Was that right? Well, was it perfect? If it wasn't perfect, then it's not right. Because I remember when this was all really new to me and it's, oh man, who cares if it's not? For now, we care. Get it? Learn the curriculum so that later you can break the rules and you have a real solid foundation to develop from, okay? So there you go. So that's Redondo 6. If I only do one side, that's Redondo 3. And you might have an instructor who's like, okay, we're gonna do we're going to do one side Icus, one side empty 6, redondo 3, umbrella 3, right? And we'll talk about umbrella in just a moment. I'm just showing you that. That's not a requirement. All of you have been around the block for a long time now, okay? A lot of martial arts instruction is just taking the basics and stringing it together in new ways to bring out, you know, different attributes and to challenge the brain so that you're not doing all the same stuff in all the same ways for a lifetime. Okay, so umbrella 6, the good news, it's exactly the same as redondo 6, but this first shot goes point down over my head. So it's a little bit more defensive. So that's why I like this. For redondo 6, I talk about helicopter blades. For umbrella 6, this first shot on both sides has to go point down. I actually touch my shoulder. And a lot of people are, well, if they hit your stick in this moment, isn't that going to hurt? Yes, it's going to hurt far less than if they smash this with space into my shoulder. Just having it pressed into my shoulder is not as bad as there's 2 inches of space here and they hit as hard as they can. And I'm effectively, even that right there wasn't a lot of fun. And I did it to myself to prove a point. So this touches my shoulder all the way around. Okay, but it's still inward, backhand, inward. Inward, point down, backhand, inward. Okay, now, why do we have those variations of the same pattern? Redondo is when you have the advantage and you just want to run the person down and take them out. Like you've already hit them, or they're already tired, or it's padded stick sparring and nobody's going to get hurt and you're just like, I'm just going to go blitz through this person. Umbrella 6, that first shot is a lot like the jab. If you're fighting somebody and you want to see what kind of response they're going to give you, or let's just say it, if you're fighting somebody you're afraid of, the umbrella option might be better because you hit and then you're immediately in a protected position. So that's why we have those. Okay, so not that this is the requirement. If we take everything that we have so far, Icus, empty 6, tuck one side, redondo 6, remember that's helicopter blades, umbrella 6. That's everything we have so far as coordination drills. Okay, and then double stick versus single stick abecedario, complementary hand dominant. So we are stepping to our right, hitting with the left, stepping to our left and opening, and then hitting with our left. So close it and go to your right, meet it, but it's left hand dominant, so it's all the left. Open it, meet it. Same thing we were doing on the other side, just everything's reversed. Because now they're swinging left-handed. Everything's left-hand dominant. So whenever forehand angles come, I want to gunting and zone to their outside. Hit them in the head. That's what that motion's supposed to simulate. And then for the sake of the drill, the backhand's coming, so I open and I zone back to the inside. And then I go there. So you all please stay with double stick. Okay, so everybody start open, close it, meet it and stay closed, open it, meet it and stay open, close it, meet it and stay closed, open it, meet it and stay open, and go right down the pipe. Close it, meet it and stay closed. Beautiful job. Okay, we're moving on. So the other reason, I'll be right back with you. I know I'm off camera. The other reason that I, oh, okay, that I like this, you also get a sense of how I've structured my curriculum. Now, in the original version, this is almost 10 years ago, there were only 4 levels. I'm talking about Filipino martial arts. And levels 1 through 3 were curriculum heavy. Level 4 looks very similar to how black belt phase 4 looks today. It's kind of like a recreation of a recreation that I once saw of the old full instructor induction ceremony. There's some light sparring. There's some like ceremonial aspects. There's, when you go to test for black belt phase 4, you're finishing the curriculum. It's not a curriculum heavy level because you already had to come through a lot. The reason I'm saying that, those first 3 levels used to be jam-packed, and I'll explain. So let's now learn probably the most famous double stick coordination drill in existence, which is Heaven 6. Okay, and different systems call it different things. We'll talk about that too. So my left is tucked under my right. I'm not going to be in a lead. If you know this already, awesome, you're ahead of the game, but I'm trying to make this learnable. I'm also trying to make it learnable for anybody who would be watching the recording after the fact. Okay, so my right hand is untucked, my left hand is tucked under my right arm. Same rule, the untucked stick always goes first. So inward right, close, backhand left, open, backhand right, tuck. Inward close, backhand open, backhand tuck. Okay. Inward with the right, close the right. Backhand with the left, open the left. Inward, backhand with the right and tuck the right. Inward with the left, close the left. Backhand with the right, open the right. Backhand with the left, tuck the left. Okay. And if you already know this and you're bored to tears, I respect that. This, as far as a progression and a nomenclature, this is mine. I spent a lot of time figuring out how to best teach this to people. So if you want to use it, again, please just give me credit, which is just to say, teach it for those of you who are going to teach or are teachers or want to teach this. If you have brand new people, inward, closed, backhand, open, backhand, tuck. Inward, close, backhand, open, backhand, tuck. Inward, close, backhand, open, backhand, tuck. Inward, close, backhand, open, backhand, tuck. Then take the secondary directions out of there. Inward, backhand, backhand. Inward, backhand, backhand. Inward, backhand, backhand. Inward, backhand, backhand. If you have advanced people, here's what you want to work on. The rhythm is usually that's the wrong rhythm. You out, Ivan? Ivan, what's going on? Sorry.
Nothing.
You okay? All right. So rhythm-wise, everybody, what I'm talking about is this break. 1, 2, 3, slight pause. You want to eliminate that. Boom, 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 boom. You want it to continue. And if we were going to mirror train this, meaning you would be doing the same thing that I'm doing and our sticks would be meeting, you want a consistent rhythm. Click, 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 click. Instead of click, 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 pause, click, 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 pause. So I've just kind of given you a focus, if you will, for everybody on every different level. So brand new people, inward, you know, even you might even call it with the hand. Right inward, close the right, left backhand, open the left, right backhand, close the, or tuck the right. Left inward, close the left, right backhand, open the right, left backhand, tuck the left. Then inward close, backhand open, backhand tuck. Inward close, backhand open, backhand tuck. Then remove the secondary instructions. Inward, backhand, backhand. Inward, backhand, backhand. Inward, backhand, backhand. Inward, backhand, backhand. Then if you have people who already know it and they're already proficient, or they picked it up like, you know, they're just one of those people that learns everything in a crazy short amount of time, try to get them to do it with a steady rhythm, not it's that changeover. This should already be on its way instead of 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3, pause. And the hard part is you have to kind of teach it that way initially, but eventually for advanced practitioners, you want to try to pull that. So that's Heaven 6. Standard 6 is the same, but I'm going high inward, low backhand, high backhand. 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 All of these shots you want to keep diagonal. This is a diagonal shot, diagonal line. This is a diagonal line. This is a diagonal line. Diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. Okay. Redondo is really the one, those you can play with. Even your umbrella, you can play with lateral shots. But like I was saying, if you're mirror training is when my partner and I both have double stick, and we do, so like our right hand stick would be meeting, our left hand stick would be meeting. We do the same pattern at the same time. I call that mirror training. Different than doing it in the air, different than doing it on like a tire or a heavy bag. So that's standard 6. High inward, low backhand, high backhand. High inward, low backhand, high backhand. This tends to be the hardest one for most people, and I think I've isolated why. It's going from low and then taking this back out, that beat right there. So that's usually what you just have to talk people. I'm kind of doing it very like deliberately, but right here, once you make stick contact, transitioning that back to open, that's, in my experience, that seems to be what screws most people up. Okay. So Heaven 6, Standard 6, Earth 6, low, 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 low. Diagonal, 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 diagonal. But it's still inward, backhand, backhand, inward, backhand, backhand, inward, backhand, backhand, inward, backhand, backhand. Okay? Now, talking about old school, I hate when people refer to themselves in third person and it lacks irony. I'm only going to do it here for a moment. If you're talking old school, Guru Bryan, phase 1, level 1, just straight level 1. Double stick requirements. Okay, I need you to know Icus, empty 6, Redondo 6, Umbrella 6, Heaven 6, Standard 6, Earth 6. Okay, it's just 7 patterns. So, all right, and that's a very newly minted instructor, even though I'm an educator, expecting, this is going to sound so egotistical, and I don't mean it egotistically, expecting everybody to learn just like I learned. That's just not a thing. Okay, so let's do a quick review for everybody. Grab your sticks real quickly. So first level, Icus, make the X, always forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand. That's Icus. Empty 6, high inward, low backhand, high backhand, high inward, low backhand, high backhand. Okay, that's it. That's it for coordination drills for the first level. 2 patterns, they're both solid. They both start to give you some good background. If you have somebody brand new who doesn't know anything, there's no footwork. There's no even awareness on the lower body. They're just trying to learn the patterns. It's the best analogy I have, everybody. If you play piano, unless you're Mozart, you did not like just boom, blitz through your chords. You sat there and played them again, played them some more, and you did it slowly. Oh, and it sucked, and then. But if you actually put the time in, you reach a certain level. Some people have to start, man, no lower body to upper body coordination. They've never held sticks. They just want to get the pattern, okay? Versus like if you have somebody that's well-trained, they might not have FMA training, but they might be a boxer. I have one private client he's a boxer, and I just like watching the way he only does Filipino martial arts. I love the way he moves. I didn't teach him that. That's his boxing training coming out in the sticks, okay? Then we tuck the left under the right, redondo 6. So think helicopter blades, redondo 6. This is where we're second level. We're helping people coordinate this tucked position, okay? And I kind of like to think of this tucked position as the double stick equivalent of a high reference point in Wing Chun or Jun Fan trapping. Training posture, training, because the minute so like anybody who's initiated, oh, we're gonna do some coordination drills, okay? So we'll look at that as well. There's other ways to set up, but we have to learn it here. We have to get comfortable here. Okay, and then umbrella 6. There's only 2 coordination drills at orange belt, second level. Redondo, so they look like helicopter blades. Umbrella, you gotta really show me. I need the examinee during his or her orange belt test to really, or maybe slightly exaggerate that roof so that I can see in that moment that that person knows this is redondo 6, this is umbrella 6, even though they're both technically inward, backhand, inward, okay? Heaven 6, inward, backhand, backhand, inward, backhand, backhand, inward, backhand, 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 backhand. Standard 6, it's still inward, backhand, backhand, but it's high inward, low backhand, high backhand, high inward, low backhand, high backhand, high inward, low backhand, high backhand. Earth 6, low inward, low backhand, low inward, low backhand, low backhand. Okay? Those are all the coordination drills required and taught in phase 1. And phase 1 is yellow, orange, and then green belt / phase 1. And I'm running out of time, but I'll try to talk about that. If I miss it, I'll talk about it next week. Okay, and then double stick versus single stick abecedario, both sides, and you have to know how to feed. So this will be really easy, okay? Everybody sticks open? We'll probably end on this, okay? So right hand dominant. So you're closing, going to your left, right? And then opening and going to your right. So close the 1, meet it, open the 2, meet it, close the 3, meet it, open the 4, meet it, right down the pipe, close the 5, meet it. Beautiful. Okay, now this stick is gone. I'm a left-handed fighter. You are, let's see, closing and going to your right, opening and going to your left. Ready? Close it, meet it, open it, meet it, close it, meet it, open it, meet it, close it, meet it. All right. And how do you feed? Well, it's very simple. Everybody take your left-hand stick and put it behind your back. Face the camera in a right lead. So, you know, quick review. Angle 1 is a forehand. Angle 2 is a backhand. 3 is a forehand. 4 is a backhand. 5 is technically a forehand. After you feed any of the forehands, you meet it with a high backhand and stay closed. After you feed any backhand, you meet it with a high forehand and you stay open. So this would be the feed. Everybody do it with me. We give angle 1, we meet it and we stay on our backhand side, ready for angle 2. We give angle 2, we meet it and we stay open. We give 3, we meet it and we stay closed. We give 4, we meet it and we stay open. We give 5, and we meet it and we would stay closed if we were going to continue the drill. Take the left-handed stick out, put the right hand behind your back, change leads. So it's the same thing, right? 1, close, and meet it on the backhand side, stay closed. 2, meet it on the forehand side, stay open. 3, stay closed. 4, stay open. 5, stay closed. Okay? So literally the requirements for green belt, double stick versus single stick abecedario, both leads dominant, or both proficiency with both sides dominant. So you all just did that. Feeding and receiving. Feeding and receiving. So you were, first 2 levels, you were just receiving. Right side dominant for the first level, left side dominant for the second level. Third level, you can receive both sides. I already know you all know how to do that. And you can feed both sides. So speaking of which, everybody switch again. Everybody take out your right hand stick, put your left hand stick behind the back, face camera in a right lead. Okay, so everybody feed me. Give me angle 1. And I close it and meet it and you stay closed. Give me angle 2 and I open it, meet it and stay open. Give me 3, close it, meet it and stay closed. Give me angle 4, open it, meet it and stay open. And then give me angle 5. Close it, meet it and stay closed. Switch hands. Put your left side in front, okay? And we're gonna end on this. Everybody give me angle 1, close, meet it. Got it. Angle 2, meet it. 3, meet it. 4, meet it. And 5, meet it. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. So only 4 minutes late. That's not too bad. I'd like to say, you know, everybody out there again who's watching, if you would like more info on formalizing your learning from me at a distance or live when society reopens. For right now, though, a distance, Stoops, OMALC.com. And for everybody else watching, we're going to do a virtual phase 1 Filipino martial arts trainer weekend. It's the last weekend in June, the 27th and the 28th. The link is virtualfmatrainer.com. I would go to that website, take a look at the schedule. If it fits, register ASAP. That way you have as much time to study the curriculum, because there is going to be testing during the event, so that, you know, the earlier you register, the more time you have with the material. For everybody who's watching, if you're not available on that weekend, there will be an option to look at the recordings of everything and all the materials on your own independently, with a slightly lower investment, because you're not actually receiving the 10+ hours of instruction, you know, during the fact. Okay, but otherwise, let's all do this. If you have them still, knock this up here, and we're gonna do our salutation here. Okay, awesome. Just set those down. And so everything looks somewhat uniform here. Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian, French and Dog Brothers, Japanese. Awesome. All right. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm going to end this. Thanks very much. This recording